a new feeling, new sensation.
New car, new race, let's go! Let's go!
Just what on earth is Gazoo Racing? Gazoo Racing is a spirit. The spirit of pushing one's limits. It's more than just a badge, a symbol, or a poster on the wall. Gazoo Racing is Kaizen of competitiveness. It's the rubber hitting the road again and again and again. Fine-tuned on the world's demanding racetracks. Powered not just by all forms of energy, but also by our passion to accelerate, exhilarate, elevate the Toyota mandate of making ever better cars. Moving not just people, but forward. This is our spirit. This is Gazoo Racing.
Second. Exit standby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go green.
The goal is always to win. It's a long race, so let's see what we can do.
Over 6 seasons, every year, 45 racers compete for a place on this podium.
This is Gazoo Racing. Good race. Oh my god, that was the hardest race I've ever raced in my life, man. Oh, up to the last corner. Oh.
This is where champions are built.
Yeah. Nice. Ready to race.
Talents uncovered.
I mean, tomorrow is a new race. Plenty of opportunities starting from P3, so I'll try to make it work. It's a new day.
Rookies nurtured.
Yeah! feel like we have the potential. We're gonna get this one.
This is Gazoo Racing.
Everyone expects you to be someone. But what if you want to be someone else? What if that someone is unexpected, unconventional, unaffected by what others think? Untraditional, unfazed by demands, unstoppable, unopposed to change. That's when you become unordinary. Undeniably you. So go on. Defy expectations with the all-new Vios.
This lady. Well, ladies and gentlemen, nothing like starting your day with the sweet sight of Toyota Gazoo Racing vehicles and the sound of it right in the front of Sepang International Circuit. This is it, the moment you've been waiting for, Toyota Gazoo Racing fans. It's the beginning of round 1 of season 2025. This is Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge, back with the bang, the ultimate one-make race here in Malaysia. I'm your host, Naz Rahman, and it is an absolute pleasure to be back here on home ground. For the past few seasons, Sepang International Circuit has been home ground for the Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge Series, and this season, no different, but we've got some changes, something new in the horizon, and something to spice things up for this round and this season. First up, we've got new drivers as well for Super Sporting Class, and also Rookie Class, and also expect them to go down to the wire for the lion's share of 800,000 ringgit in prize monies. Yes, that's the pot this year, this season 2025, and some of the changes may surprise you, tapi semuanya dilakukan untuk kita naik taraf. Orang kata dah lama juga kita melihat format Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge di sini, dan pada musim ini kita membawakan pembaharuan untuk anda semua. Terima kasih kepada sponsor-sponsor kita, Toyota Tires, and Denso, NK, Motis, Modelista, Toyota Capital, Pentas Flora, Tech Lab, and also Kinto. Terima kasih kepada sponsor-sponsor kita. Dan pada tahun ini, race calendar kita, we've got not 1, 2, 3, one extra round for our racers to do their very best. So if you take a look at the race calendar, yes, round 1 begins today, 25th to 27th April at Sabang International Circuit. Round 2 will be happening at the end of June, also on home ground. Round 3 is going to be happening in the beginning of August. And we have a round 4, the ultimate round, and the venue is still to be confirmed. And so watch out for that exciting announcement as to where round 4 is going to take place. And all this is great news for our racers as well. Speaking of our racers, we bring back our 3 classes, racing classes for your viewing pleasure. We have the Super Sporting class, of course. The Super Sporting class is the Gold Championship for professionals here at the Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge. Next, we have the Sporting class, the Gold Championship for amateurs. And of course, Toyota Gazoo Racing has always cultivated grassroots motorsports. So our rookie class this year will also be taking the field, or rather the track, along with our Super Sporting veterans in order to cultivate and all this with the platform of Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge. Now, what can we expect pada anda yang sedang menonton sekarang ini? What can we expect for race day 1 today? Of course, qualifying sessions are happening. Later in the evening, we have race day 1. For the qualifying sessions, some changes are in order. So this time around, for Super Sporting class and Sporting class, we have not 1, but 2 qualifying sessions. So the first qualifying session will happen at 9 a.m. for Super Sporting, and 25 minutes after is official qualifying 2. Next up at 9:50 a.m. we have the official qualifying session, followed by Sporting class all official qualifying session. That's happening at 10:15 a.m. Sporting class official qualifying 2 happens right after at 10:40 a.m. Now, why are there 2 qualifying sessions for the Super Sporting? Well, like I said, a little bit of extra excitement. Imagine, no changing of tires, you're set with the fuel that you have. You cannot refuel as well from qualifying right up to race day. And this is part of the strategy of all teams in order to come out on top. So when we have 2 qualifying sessions, the first qualifying session will determine the top 8 best racers, and qualifying 2 will determine the pole position right up to P8. That's the second qualifying session. So for those who qualify, they've got that extra bit of drive, and we have to use and utilize a little bit of extra strategy as well when it comes to fuel and tires. So let's see how these drivers and the teams adapt to this new system. And I think we'll be heading out to our racecasters for a little bit more explanation, and so that all our viewers will be I'd say on the pulse of the situation at every moment in time. We want you to enjoy the races a lot better with the live streaming that we provide. More rounds, more teams, and a new qualifying format. And so, what else is new? Let's say we go on to our casters. Abed Driver, Nick Harris, it's over to you to give the lowdown to our viewers what TGR Vios Challenge 2025 is all about. Over to you guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is a brand new era here for Toyota Gazoo Racing. Welcome to the 2025 season of the Vios Challenge. My name is not Nick Harris. My name is Victor Cax. Joining me here is Hafiz, aka Decipher. We are going to be your commentators for today as we bring you guys a brand new season of racing here at the Vios Challenge. It's great to be back here, isn't it, Hafiz?
Yeah, it's great to be back, and it's the first time we are going to be sitting together. But before that, Matthews Isaac sends regard to all of you who are watching live. But before, as mentioned, thank you Abang Nas for the introduction about the race event that we have. New qualifying, that's going to be the biggest talk of the show, Victor.
Yeah, I'm so stoked to see how this is going to turn out. It's going to be a brand new format here, a brand new year for us here at Toyota Gazoo Racing. And Vios Challenge, you know, still remains Malaysia's most watched motorsport event here, and I'm always so honored to be a part of this. So we kick things off with this season having 4 rounds instead of the usual 3. So we got 1 additional round that's going to be added on. We are still not confirmed yet exactly where we're going, but make sure you guys stay tuned tuned our socials so you can find out where exactly we will be going to next. But for today, it's going to be round 1 here at the Sepang Circuit North End. So all of our racers here are just raring to get themselves out on track. We got the 3 classes, as Nas has mentioned, the Super Sporting, which is the Gold Championship for Professionals, the Sporting class, which is the Gold Championship for Amateurs, and last but not least, the Rookie class. So each of these classes will be doing their individual qualifying sessions later on. And given that it's 2 rounds, so okay, to explain a little bit about why we're doing this format here, this is now going to be a shootout style qualifying format. So there are going to be 2 sessions for each of these classes, and each of those sessions are split into 15 minutes each.
Correct.
And again, with the new shootout format, it does mean that they will still have to retain the same tire and fuel that they use for the second qualifying session, and they'll be carried forward into the race, the actual race that we're going to be starting here.
So among the questions right now is, how are you going to manage those tires? That's going to be the biggest question. Remember, our team, our driver. So it's all about managing the tires. Half of the track might be flooded because of the rain.
Yeah, speaking about that rain, like I was checking the weather forecast, it seems like at least for this qualifying session, we may be seeing a dry session throughout, but things might get interesting later on this afternoon when we actually get to our first race of the weekend. There is a chance that might be a thunderstorm during the time. So this does mean, at least for my estimation, this qualifying is super important because if you can, dry running usually means it's going to be very consistent grip out there. So more than likely, these drivers will be looking at this qualifying session as practically the start of the very race itself.
Yep, and also I believe that Abanas did mention about our rookies that I would like to point out. Yes, we have 5 new rookies on track. I'd like to give a good shout out first and foremost to Justin Rahul Dev, Genevieve Oi, Ian James, Harkesh, and also Aidan Akalik. Welcome to Toyota Gazoo Racing, and I just can't wait to see these rookies on the table. And not to forget our sporting category. We also have returning names to the category.
We are going to be welcoming back Taj Izrin Ayman, who will be joining us with his Vios Challenge debut in the sporting class. Other rookies we're going to be seeing is Adam Mikhail. It's great to see Adam Mikhail back. He's going to be driving for G-Mart Motorsport.
Medalist in Sukma Esports.
Exactly. So lots and lots of things to check out here. Earl will be also joining us here. He is also will be here with the FIA Boulevard Racing team.
Yes, and also looking at the name list, there's 2 names which is not there. Surprisingly, Nakib Aslan will not be racing, and also the one and only Tengku Jan also is not racing. He will be here in a team management capacity. Oh, that's a little bit sad, but last season you accident in that first turn. But that was a very odd moment.
That was a scary moment, honestly. Like, especially the speed that he was entering into turn 1 there, and like so like lucky that he didn't run into anyone else before he hit the runoff area. But we're still glad to have Dukajan still with us here today, at least. Even though he's not going to be racing with us, I know he's going to be watching from the sidelines very, very intently.
Yep, and also looking about other classes, I believe Super Sporting, is it possibly we see Mitchell Chia goes for the podium?
Well, I mean, he has finally been able to become a champ. I mean, this season, with the brand new blood that's coming in from the former rookies, and also the ongoing rivalries that he had, in past seasons, and plus a few people who have actually made their way from sporting class into Super Sporting. I would say not guaranteed success, but certainly he's going to have a heck of a season here in terms of like the competition that's going to be coming at him.
Yep, and also not to forget again, as mentioned names, we have Adi Rahimi, Shafiq Samsuddin, Kenneth Yov, William Ho, and not to forget Freddie Ng was also a pacey driver.
Well, I mean, last time around, like I think if he was able to get like a race win, maybe even 2, perhaps he would have the track right now. We will be soon getting into our qualifying session here. and we will see how exactly things will turn out here on a very rather foggy track that we have out here today. It's a little bit misty out here. I don't think there's any chance of rain, at least as far as you can see. But ooh, it's looking a little bit dark in the horizon there, isn't it?
That's the problem, because as we mentioned even before we went live, the track is going to be very, very cold. That will play an impact at the tires. Is it going to get up to temp as fast as possible? As you mentioned, qualifying is where you want to push the car at the limit. So if the traction is not there, is the driver having the confidence to go into the corner at speed and pressing the throttle, hitting the throttle to get out of the corner as soon as possible?
Like, and because it's not really that sunny, I think like temperature-wise, it should be a little bit easier for them to not overheat your tires, which is going to be super crucial. Trying to get the tire into the optimal range of performance. Now, one caveat I have to put though is that this season we're going to be using a brand new type of tire compared to past seasons. So I think there's also a bit of a learning curve amongst all the teams to figure out how exactly this tire differs from the previous spec of tire they used to use. So there is that little bit uncertainty, right? Like, I think everyone was definitely using yesterday's practice session to just see what are the limits, and I think unfortunately Nabil has none.
Sacrifice well.
And that's a kind of challenge that all of our sporting class and will have to face. It's going to be a very tires, brand new field of competition here, and with Naki going to be effectively sitting out this first round, it's quite likely that the championship lead is going to be
Freddie Ng.
Yep.
Number 44 behind, and is working on Russell again.
Oh yeah, I mean, hopefully they got all that sorted before we head out here. So as for the super sporting class, we've got two newcomers, as we saw earlier on your screens. Mr. Kenneth Cole from PCM Group sporting class, finally, after so many seasons of running in the sporting class.
Dan sudah pastinya session we have two out, and I call
now to
stabilize first, but they're blocking it.
So I think we'll have to wait and see. There's still session here, 10-11 minutes. I think the times will start to drop, drivers get more and more into the groove as their cars tires start to warm up a little bit more. It might be something needs to adjust.
It's all standard spec. Skill. The talent better in clocking that faster time.
And especially when it comes to the first round of the season, this is Alice to race win. This is the first round of the season. There's no race winners quite yet.
See the three drivers with in the relegation, if you want to call it. As we know, the next shootout is the top 8. So bottom 3 will be eliminated, and here comes the strategy of tire management, giving the toe and try to manage the tires as possible, because we are given limited sets of tires. It's all about managing, especially those front 2 tires that is going to wear first.
Well, it's like at least for like second place all the way down to 6 or maybe even 7, they're all within half a second of each other. So I think I can't quite see exactly what the actual time was. Okay, so it's a 1:25.8. So that still remains outside of the margin that he needs in order to get out of the bottom 3.
And also the fastest lap speed, or should I say the top speed that was clocked in, is Adi Rahimi with 162.2 kilometers per hour, hitting the maximum speed. So right now, I believe that the top 8 is kind of secured. Only difference gap is only 800ths of a second.
But if I was Bradley Benedict, if I was William Ho, I would definitely feel a little bit nervous because all it takes is from one of the bottom three right now, which is either number 88, 46, or 21, whether it's Shafiq Samsudin, Kenneth Cole, or Boy Wong. If any of them manage to get themselves a really good time, they will be able to bump Bradley possibly into the bottom, William Ho as well. So it's not quite secure for the bottom of the top 8, I would say. We're still yet to see Boy Wong to be able to set a decent qualifying time here. He's still 1.5 seconds off, which means he hasn't quite been able to put it together yet in this session.
As we can see, the time left is not that much left. And what is interesting, out of all of the 11 driver, guess who actually made it with the least lap made? Freddie Ng with only 3 laps, and he's already safe in the top 8. That is class. That is precision. That is absolutely stunning driving by Freddie Ng.
That is, well, I mean, he is already on form coming into this weekend, which is exciting to see. Like, just 3 laps and I'm done. It's like 3 laps is all I need to get into qualifying 2 here. And, well, let's see if that's going to be the case. We still have Shafiq Samsudin attempting to come out here. He's only a 1/10 of a second slower than Bradley Benedict's best. He's certainly out, but don't think because Kenneth Cole is right behind him. Once again to the main straight, and that's certainly going to add a little bit more pressure here to both of these brand new drivers in the sporting class, I should add.
So I believe that is going to be car 88. So it's Shafiq Shamsuddin now trying to push his vehicle to the max. That was the same corner. Now will he improve his time going into the top 8? Mohammed Shafiq crosses the line. Does he? Not good enough.
Not quite. Still 2/10 off on that last lap. Cannot quite find an improvement. Neither does Kenneth Cole either. He actually did worse on this on this flying lap compared to the last one here. So is it going to be confirmed here that they are out of Q2?
As we are waiting for the official listing for this first qualifying, and this is the drivers are sitting waiting for the official time. This is Nabil Aslan from Will Corp Racing, where, as I mentioned, in training, or should I say in practice, had a little bit of a mishap, but he showed his worth where he is currently sitting number 2 in the top 8 with a time, the best time set, which is 1 minute 25.190. That's good enough.
That's good enough for 2, for sure. It's not quite good enough for Mohammed Shafiq Samsudin, Kenneth Cole, and Boy Wong with the checker flag already out. The session has officially ended, and they have not been able to upgrade their time. So quite an unfortunate debut, I have to say, for both Shafiq Samsudin and Kenneth Cole. But certainly they will still have an opportunity going on later in the race. Checker flag is already out. I think there's maybe a car or 2 still out on track right now. Shafiq Samsudin and Kenneth Cole coming through. Will they be able to improve this time? No, still very much far out. It is confirmed. That is it. That is it for Shafiq Samsudin and Kenneth Cole. They failed to get themselves into Q2. And for the other drivers, well, now they can start getting themselves prepped up for the next half of our shootout qualifying.
So that, I mean, in 15 minutes, a lot of action had been shown, especially Mitchell Cha. He just wants to get in front of everybody. He wants that clean air. He does not want to be stuck behind other cars. Even though slipstream is powerful, but dirty air will kill that front tires. So we are waiting for the official confirmation for the top 8 drivers that will advance. But roughly, we are waiting. Car 63, 28, 61, 20, 63, 23, 63, and 39. 55 eligible for Q2 and proceed to park firme.
So that's our top 8 of qualifying 1. That's everyone up from Adi Rahimi in that pole position all the way down to Bradley Benedict that will be proceeding into Q2. We're seeing Mitchell Chia getting his brakes actually cooled down a little bit here, as we're only going to have basically about like a 10-minute turnaround before we will get started with Q2. So, wow, he's already so locked into the zone right now, staring into the distance here. His eye is definitely on the prize here. And that time, I mean, only 3/10 off, but also, crucially, only 5/100ths off of Nabil Aslan. So he's definitely going to be in that chase, I believe, for like a front row seat here. Just needs to be able to overcome Nabil Aslan and hopefully be able to overcome Adi Rahimi as well. Though, having set the time 1:24.888, it's going to be certainly a mountain to climb, especially in these conditions.
And also, just to explain to our viewers, even though they know, but maybe it is to explain, park firme bererti kereta itu tak boleh disentuh. Dia parking, dia duduk, tak boleh sentuh, tak boleh tukar tayar, tak boleh isi minyak, tak boleh nak tiba-tiba, tayar depan ni macam lari lah, kena cabut. No, cannot. It's totally frozen, park firme. And that is Adi Rahimi currently on a pole position after the first shootout. So we will go to the second shootout very, very shortly. But guys, if you're watching live, wherever you are, who do you think will take that pole position?
I would say, like, looking at the times and also looking at the number of laps, like you did highlight that Freddie only did 3 laps on his qualifying session. Like, both Adi Rahimi as well as Nabi Aslan have done 4 laps each, but Mitchell Chia has done 6 laps on his tires. So his tires are going to be a little bit older compared to the other 2 drivers that he's vying for pole with. So that's going to put him at a slight disadvantage coming into Q2, so that's certainly going to be another obstacle here that's in the way for Mitchell Chia to be able to fight for that pole position. But really good to see car number 23, Timothy Yo, able to get himself up into 4th place ahead of Freddie Liu as well as Eddie Liu as well as Freddie Ang. And that's a really good result there, actually, I have to say. Because to beat both Eddie as well as Freddie for the qualifying here, not an easy feat, I've got to say.
Yep, not an easy feat. As you can see, sliding left, right, and center. Mitchell Chia having said quickly bump. And he is, some say, he might be the favorite to at least be in that top 3 overall. Because he has the pace, he has the speed, but again, as you know, Toyota Gazoo Racing, the races have lots of drama.
Drama abound in this racing championship here, but it's going to be a brand new season here in 2025. So anything can still be on the cards here. We've got all the drivers coming out now for our Q2 session. We've got Shafiq Samsudin and Kenneth. This is a replay of our qualifying 1 session here. And I mean, it's relatively nice and clean. It seems like everyone got their cars nicely dialed in since yesterday's practice. They all know what their targets are. They know exactly how the car is going to be able to react in this qualifying session. And now it's just a matter of being able to get the best possible time here in Q2, set themselves up for the grid start later on this evening. And, well, wish them all the best in that regard.
So currently we are getting word from race control that the 8 cars are getting ready. They are Freddie Ng, Liu Karwai, Timothy Thomas Yo, Nabil Aslan, William Ho, Bradley Benedict, Mitchell Chia, Adi Rahimi. The pit will open in the next 4 minutes. So I wonder what will be the strategy. Okay, let's talk about strategy right now. Okay, they know that they are in the top 8. And looking at the split timing is almost a 10th out of each. Out of all of those 8 drivers, Freddie Ng uses the less set of tires, laps.
Yeah.
So is it possible an element of sandbagging? Now this is going to be a very interesting topic because as we know, limited tires, 2 rounds of qualifying. So they want to save as much tire as possible to carry forward, but still maintaining a competitive time. What would you do if you were in their shoes?
If it were me, I would want the first flying lap that I do to be the perfect flying lap, because that would mean that I can spend the rest of the session in the pits. I will save as much running time on the tire as possible and have the car as prime as I could going into the first race here. So that will be the ideal situation here. But given for the drivers that are a little bit on the lower end of that top 8, I think they will want to try to ghost or follow along some of the other faster drivers just to stay up to pace with them and see whether or not they can beat them in their time. So to me, I think it's literally that first flying lap that's going to be the crucial one here, because it will be the make it or break it for these drivers here. If they were not able to maximize the use of their first flying lap itself, it's guaranteed that the next laps they will do will not be able to match the optimal performance, because by that point, tires will have been used up a bit. They'll be heated up with the brakes as well. So just like we saw with Kenneth Cole as well as Shafiq Samsudin, like longer you run out on track, the worse off you're going to be. Your car performance is going to drop way off a cliff, even on these new spec of tires. So to me, it's just literally going to be, as soon as the pit exit opens, you're going to be shooting your way out of the pit lane and trying to ensure that first lap that you do is absolutely picture perfect.
Yep, dan juga again bagi mereka yang baru saja menyertai secara langsung kita dari Sepang International Circuit, ini merupakan Toyota Gazoo Racing 2025 Malaysia pusingan pertama, dan perubahan pada musim ini ialah sesi kelayakan ada 2. Kita ada sesi kelayakan pertama di mana semua jentera mengikut kelas akan berada di atas litar, dan hanya top 8 jentera terpantas akan melayakkan diri masuk ke sesi kelayakan kedua. So jadi bagi anda sedang menyaksikan siaran ini secara langsung, kami di meja pengulas mendoakan anda berada dalam keadaan baik, berada dalam keadaan sehat, dan sama-sama kita enjoy sesi kelayakan kedua untuk kategori Super Sporting Class. Anda bersama saya, Hafiz Abedi Saiful, selaku pengulas anda bersama dengan my good friend Victor, di mana kita akan menghiburkan anda sehingga esok hari, di mana penamat perlumbaan race nombor 2 menanti anda.
Yeah, betul itu. So unfortunately for qualifying 2, kita sudah kehilangan 3 driver, yaitu Shafiq Samsudin, yaitu kereta nombor 88, Kenneth Cole, yaitu kereta nombor 46, dan last kali lah Boy Wong, yaitu kereta nombor 21.
Yep. So I mean currently we are looking at drivers who would want to be in that front row, I would say. I mean, front row, you get the first dibs going into the first turn. And especially if you want to get that clean air, when you are in clean air, for sure your tires will be... See, we're talking about tires.
There we go.
The tires will be well protected, well managed. But as the first car, you'll go into the corner, into clean air. But on the straight line, you'll be giving slipstream to the car behind. Do you want to be the first car? Some say yes. But you will want to be the second car in a straight line? Yes, indeed.
I mean, if you remember, like as I said, for the strategy going into Q2, like you want to be the car that follows behind another car. Like in the Vios series especially, the slipstream provides so much advantage, especially on that main straight. So, and if you're the car in front, you're not going to be able to benefit off of that tow entirely. So you definitely want to be in a position where you can either shadow along another driver's racing line, or at the very least be able to get a slipstream coming onto that main straight. I see a green flag being shown right now by our marshals on that
Nobody's
pit entry,
going out.
but no one's going out. Yeah, everyone is just holding position, just holding the cars close to the chest. I think they want to add like a little bit more of the time pressure for everyone here. So, wow, this is going to be an interesting one. So, again, I guess I stand corrected. I would assume that a lot of these drivers want to go out as soon as possible, but no, they want to conserve. They want to, they don't want to be the first one out there. They don't want to be the one giving the slipstream to other drivers out there.
And possibly they... See, this is the thing that strategy-wise, because this is the first time we have a 2-session qualifying. So basically the team, this is the first, they were like, who's going in, who's going out, how do I save tire? Again, the driver that has the most tire life currently is Freddie Ng. He did his flying lap in just 3, and he already made it in the top 8. So right now he'll be like, I still have a lot of tires left. I'm waiting maybe I'm assuming from my judgment, maybe after in the final 8 minutes they'll be going out. Maybe they'll try to improve just one lap only.
I think, yeah, it's just going to be literally on that one lap. And I think the calculus for everyone is that, like I said, you want that first flying lap that you do on this current set of tires to be absolutely perfect. So they expect, okay, I just want to make it one run and get it in there. So that conversely is going to add a lot more pressure on these drivers to actually perform during this qualifying session. And well, you can see Kenneth Cole on your screens right now, looking a little bit dejected, I expect, because of the having been eliminated from Q1. But well, we'll see how he will do later on in the racing.
Tire management. This is the first for me, where everybody's not going out. They're like, I'm staying put. I want to save the tires. But the thing is that they are in park for me. The drivers cannot go out.
Yeah, I mean, they can't get out of the cars.
Yeah.
The mechanics cannot even do any adjustments. You know, pretty much what you qualify in Q1 with is what you're going to have to use for Q2. And it even includes the fuel loads as well. So I think that's also part of the calculus here. Like, they don't want to waste too much of the fuel as well going into the race. Otherwise, they'll have to do a lot of like lift and coast to kind of conserve that in the longer session. But as of right now, everyone is very much in the Mexican standoff here. No one wants to go out. No one wants to be that lead car out in front there.
KO Corral.
Yeah.
Because this is very interesting because you can stay in the shootout and still you have the same timing. Because if nobody goes out, let's just say if nobody goes out, Edri Hakimi will be in pole position.
I mean, yeah, that's the last like you know, official qualifying lap that's been set, so that would be the case. But I think these guys will leave it literally until the last, maybe like either like 7 or 5 minutes to go before.
Maybe enough for just 2 flying laps.
Yeah, I would think that would be the case. Just to make sure that like they at least have one banker and then one push lap. But I think practically that first flying lap that you do is practically going to be your qualifying lap right off the bat. So there's not much I think that can be done here. You know, all the drivers are just gonna wait to see who's going to be the first one to sunjuice, as we would say. Who's going to be the first one to actually pull the trigger and go out there, get the laps done. I think they're also waiting for the cue from the garage. Just the mechanics are also like keeping track. Yeah, the crew chief is keeping track of the time and just making sure that their drivers would come out just in time, you know, to just set that one lap. But as of right now, everyone is still just standing by, waiting for that cue in their cars, making sure that you know. They'll have ample time later on to get the flying laps done.
Another 9 minutes and 20 seconds left for the second qualifying shootout. You know, this is like a game of chicken going into that turn 1 in, is it Saudi? The final DRS where Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, Norris and Hamilton.
Norris, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure they're just waiting to see who goes first. I think Freddie Ng, I mean, this is just my humble opinion and observation. He has a lot of tire left. And possibly, hey, that's Tengku Jan.
Hey, Tengku Jan on the screens here. He's going to be running team management role here on this weekend. So no doubt just communicating with the drivers through his headset there.
We have a movement.
Oh, we got movement. First one out. Guess who?
It's Freddie Ng.
Freddie Ng with the one with the prime tires. He's going to be the first one out. Mitchell Jeff follows closely behind. Oh, he's already pulling trigger. Bradley Benedict as well, finally pulling the trigger with 8.5 minutes to go in this session. Finally, we're going to be getting some flying laps out there. And qualifying 2, you know, it's officially started at least 7 minutes ago. Now we're actually seeing cars on track.
So that is giving around at least 3 laps minimum. So as we mentioned, they are doing for 2 laps. For the push lap, I think, with 8 minutes, 4 to 3 laps maybe, or maybe just 1.
I think maybe just 1. Like literally, once
one
you come
out,
around,
1 in.
Yeah, just come around to the final corner and then immediately start your flying lap there. Another 3 set of cars coming out. It's going to be the Laser Motor Racing team with Adi Rahimi in the lead there. His teammate Eddie Liu just in the middle, and William Ho is the car that's following behind the 2 of them. So the double slipstream effect could be in play here. I mean, for the Laser Motor Racing team, it is certainly going to be within their rights, given they're both teammates. They will be able to trade the tow off of each other, which is going to be an advantage that the other teams, unfortunately, will not be able to use, given they only have a single car per team. So that's going to be something to watch out here. Laser Motor Racing can certainly pull a lot of team strategies during this this weekend itself.
Yeah. Just how Carlos Sainz with Albon.
Yeah. It's pretty much
Williams. Everybody loves the Williams.
I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, you know, and certainly Laser Motor Racing is going to take full advantage of the fact they have two cars out here on track. Mitchell as well as Bradley Benedict will be coming around that final turn. We're going to be seeing... Ooh, what the heck was that?
Almost a collision. Bradley Benedict. We might have a replay coming in very, very shortly. He was avoiding Mitchell Chia just now. And almost a huge collision going out of that turn 8. We could have seen two cars almost getting bumped. Here's the replay.
Yeah, so you could see Mitchell Chia actually pull to the side, but he slowed down a little bit too early, and Bradley just got caught out as he was coming in full speed out of turn 7 there. So very, very hairy moment, but again, you know, these guys are professional drivers. They have such good reaction times there, and Bradley was very, very good in avoiding a collision there.
As we can see on the time, Freddie Ng made the first sector with his 36.388. The fastest car on track belongs to, I believe, that is William Ho with 165.6 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, and again, we're going to be seeing if Freddie Ng probably going to be one of the favorites here, just given the advantage he has in terms of tires. Really curious to see what time he is going to be able to set. He set a best time of 1:25.3 so far. Not the fastest that we've seen, especially given the Q1 times, but hopefully you'll be able to improve on that more as the session continues.
With fresher tires, Freddie Ng from Telagamas Toyota is leading the charge, trying to get at least a time on the board fast enough to be at that pole position. I mean, starting in pole position or maybe starting in that front row does give advantage, getting into clean air and also dictating the pace of the whole race. So currently, last lap is Adi Rahimi takes to the top with 124.926. Purple in Sector 1, Sector 2, however, is not the fastest car on the track.
Not at all. It's he's already breaking past the 125, so he's still on form here today. Even though he was a lead car of his pack, is showing that he's already got plenty of pace in spades here. Nabil Aslan, though, getting inching ever so close. He's not quite under the 125s, but it's only 15 milliseconds off of that. So he's certainly going to be one that Adi Rahimi will be watching out for. But I'm certainly thinking that both of these drivers will be guaranteed a front row start given the circumstances.
Yep, as we can see currently for Mitchell Chia, just clocked in the first sector, 36.096, fastest of all the drivers on the track. So possibly maybe he's on the lap trying to push in that second sector. On the camera right now, driver number 28, Nabil Aslan from Wheelcorp, currently standing in second place. Possibly, as you mentioned, that front row start.
Exactly, and Freddie Ng, even though he said only a 125.3, that's still good enough to keep him ahead of William Ho. Although I do see that William Ho is shadowing very closely to Eddie Liu there, so we may be seeing a change in the guard soon. As Mitchell Chia moves up into third place, a 125.084, good enough to beat Freddie Ng just by milliseconds there.
Yep, a personal best, a good job, well done after 3 laps. So we still have at least, I believe, 1 lap if they want to still try and push it up. But currently, the front row consists of Adi Rahimi and Nabil Aslan. And we see Freddie Ng currently in 4th position. Is he going to improve? Possibly, maybe. But does the car stick going into that final turn? Looks like a little bit aggressive on the throttle. But we will soon find out where he will be ending. Still in 4th.
Still in fourth
yeah.
for now. And Bradley Benedict as well, by the way, has also improved on his time. That's good enough for a top 5 here provisionally. William Ho, conversely, has not actually improved all that much. In fact, he and Eddie Liu have been slowly sinking down in the timing screens as we see here, as they have not quite improved on their respective times. So as of right now, you know, it's still very much a shootout here. Mitchell Chia going way off the track there with Adi Rahimi following so closely behind, and a bit of a psychological tactic here from Adi as he takes over from Mitchell Chia. Across the line they go. And Adi Rahimi actually improves on his time there, puts it up to a 124.7. That's even 1/10 of a second faster than the time he set in Q1.
And also Bradley Benedict, out of nowhere, pulls a rabbit out of the hat. But this again, we see the bounce of Mitchell Chia. Actually, he went on the curb a little bit too aggressive, did he? Yep, he does.
He did. That actually unsettled the car completely, so he wasn't able to thread the needle, so to speak, as that moves out of the way there. So unfortunately, he lost out quite a bit of time, was not able to compete with Bradley's time in that last lap there. So he certainly will have some time here to try to do another lap, hopefully to be able to improve on that. He's already gotten past Adi Rahimi as well, taking over from him on that second turn, but I think he wants to try to beat the clock here to make sure that he gets to the line before that checker flag is out, so he can do at least one more lap with clean running. Car number 23, track limits at turn 4 and a deleted lap time there. That's going to be for Timothy Yeo, just further adding to the woes as he is still not able to break out of P8 so far.
That was a little bit disappointing, but yep, as mentioned, you go out of the track limits, you will be penalized, and the time has been deleted. As we can see, currently topping the table, topping the time is Adi Rahimi. Front row currently Bradley Benedict, and here is Nabil Aslan giving slipstream, I believe, a little bit too close, moving out of the way, and there was a puff of smoke out of nowhere.
Yeah, a bit of a lockup there, or a bit of a slide there coming in from Nabil Aslan as he was getting past Timothy Yeo just now, and I think that might have compromised Timothy Yeo's line a little bit. And with 10 seconds to go, I think the checker flag might be out for him. So it will be disappointing, though, if he's not able to improve on his current time of 125.574, because it's 2/10 slower than Eddie Liu at the moment, and it's not enough to get him up any higher. As the checker flag is finally waved out here, we'll see if there are any going to be seeing the last bit of running here for some of the cars out on the track. Nabil Aslan, of course, being one of them. So is Timothy Yeo. I think I see Bradley Benedict already in the pit, so he's already called it quits with already securing what looks to be a front row start here. Only 2/10s, specifically 2:60 from Adi Rahimi's fastest time, so that's certainly a very competitive one here. Freddie Ang moves up to 4th as Nabil Aslan negotiates the final corner because his car turned so nicely to aim at the exit and into the main straight, comes across the line. His time has improved, but does not move the needle. He is 3 milliseconds slower than Bradley's time, so not quite enough to dethrone him from that front row. Mitchell Chia, though, comes right up into the line and takes the front row start away from Bradley Benedict.
Wow, that was absolutely stunning driving by Mitchell Chia, beating by only 200ths of a second. Stunning drive by Mitchell Chia. And with that, we have our front row driver start, which is Adi Rahimi and also Mitchell Chia, beating Bradley Benedict time, pushing him down by just 2/10 of a second. And Nabil Aslan tried to improve, can only start at the second row, which only 3/1000ths of a second behind Bradley Benedict. As we mentioned, they were waiting for the last moment. They were waiting for the last second to start pushing, and we just witnessed drama in our second qualifying shootout for our super sporting class. Difference by 2/1000ths of 200ths of a second, 3/1000ths of a second for Nabil Aslan. Wow!
Wow, and you know, to your point about sandbagging, well, Mitchell Chia wasn't looking so hot in Q1, comes into Q2, sets a faster time than Adi Rahimi did in Q1. Literally only 17 milliseconds off of Adi Rahimi's pole setting time here in Q2. So, oh boy, you want to talk about sandbagging? He was certainly holding out a lot here in this qualifying session.
So remember, the word of the day is sandbagging. Take that from me. But it was well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. I mean, wow. I mean, that's an impressive time here for both Adi Rahimi as well as Mitchell Chia, as the drivers are now going for their grid start practice here. Again, very important to be able to get these done and out of the way to ensure that the car is in tip-top shape, because we will, of course, be having our first race later on this afternoon. We'll be opening up a new stream for that. That will be coming live at around 2 p.m. So make sure you guys stay tuned for the race later on. This is, of course, a super sporting class qualifying session number 2, already done and dusted here. Adi Rahimi is your pole sitter for the super sporting class, and we'll be seeing him on that front row alongside Mitchell Chia, and that's going to be an electrifying start that you don't want to miss out on.
And also coming up after this is going to be the qualifying session for the rookie class. And it's going to be interesting how our 5 young rookies show their talent on track. The first time ever. Yesterday was all practicing. Today is the real deal. Today is to show what you are made of. And what is interesting, out of the 5, we have 3 of those drivers who are having sim racing background.
Exactly. I'm very familiar with Justin Raul Dev, as well as Ian James. These guys have been very much in the competitive circuit when it comes to sim racing here, and true to Toyota's program of elevating young talents, they also elevate talents that they come up from the virtual racing scene, as it were. And I'm glad to welcome these 3 brand new drivers into our ranks as we have a look at a bit of a highlights that we had from Q2, the close call that Bradley Benedict had with Mitchell Chia, the stunning performance here that Adi Rahimi was able to pull off here in Q2, just not only setting the fastest time overall, but also the fastest time of the entire session. Of course, 2 qualifying sessions have both been at his hand. Mitchell Chia certainly was not looking good when it came to Q1, but boy did he make up for it in Q2, in spite of the slight mishap early on where he went a little bit off track and no doubt compromised his line a little bit. Came back strong and guaranteed himself a front row start. Actually,
that is not the first time he does that. Because during practice, almost there's once where he will always try to be as close as possible to the curb. And sometimes he does jump the curb, but that was during training, free practice. But now, he took it, and suddenly out of nowhere, he is on the front row besides Adi Rahimi.
Just goes to show, like, you just put it together perfectly, especially on that last turn, and you would stand to gain a lot of time. And knowing how tricky the final corner is in the North Circuit. And by the way, that final corner, I mean, is the corner between the 2 tire barriers, the very, very narrow opening into the main straight. It's a very tricky corner to get right, not only because it's such a narrow space, but also because your setup literally has to be before the apex, before that tire barrier even. So exactly on that curve that Mitchell Chia tends to go off on is exactly where you gain most of your time. So here are the official results here, the provisional results, I should say, for official qualifying number 2. Adi Rahimi is the pole position taker here for Laser Motor Racing Team. He will be starting on the front row alongside Mitchell Chia from Prima Pearl TD Racing. In the second row, we've got Bradley Benedict from PS Automobile, as well as Nabil Aslan from Wheel Corp Racing. In the third row, Freddie Ang and William Ho will be sharing the same row together side by side, and Eddie Liu and Timothy Yo will round up the top 8 here for Laser Motor Racing and RH Kalulong Motorsports respectively.
So that is the end of our Super Sporting official qualifying number 2. As you can see, the first qualifying, everybody was taking it slow and steady, do not want to eat up their tires as much. But when it comes to the second shootout, the top 8, as we can see, everybody waited to the final moment, as I predicted, after the 10-minute. So yeah, I think we can see the same strategy used for our sporting class, which is coming up after our next session that is being settled, being prepped for you, which is the rookie class. And that is Alex Yong looking at his young drivers to be ready, get into the car, do not want to be late, because every moment you are late is time wasted to qualify.
Yeah, and especially for the rookie class, you know, they're not doing a shootout format actually. They're only doing a single 15-minute session. So 15 minutes is all they will get out on track here to set up their grid positions. So that's going to be extra added pressure here for the rookies to be at their best right from the get-go. You can see they're all just getting themselves prepped up, getting themselves into the zone, as it were. And no doubt under the tutelage of Alex Yong, who's been very instrumental in Toyota's young drivers or their driver program. He's been very much with us every step of the way, bringing all these rookies up to speed and getting themselves ready, you know, on the start of their journey in the Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge. So we're going to be so excited to see how these brand new rookies will be performing here. So let's see how things will turn out.
And on cam right now is Aidan Khalid, which is coming from the background of a karting. And this is car number 8, which is Rahul Dev, whom actually from Sim, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, very familiar with him. He's in the online racing scene. He's a part of the Pepega racing team, has been taking part very regularly in the ERGP series, which is also coincidentally organized by Alex Yong, Alex Yong's own company. So great to see him be able to take to the wheel in real life here as well. And knowing him, he's going to be putting his entire heart and effort out there on track. And Genevieve Oy also will be joining us here. She is a amateur racer in the karting championship. She's the 4th female driver to actually join us in the TGR Vios Challenge here. So great to see some female representation here.
Yep, yes indeed. And now car number 22, Ian James, whom yesterday had a good time on track, and he had learned his ropes left, right and center, and hopefully trying to prove himself worthy to be in the fastest echelon in this rookie group itself. But if you're watching live, whatever you're watching, doakan korang sehat. Sekarang ni jam dekat pukul 10 pagi, korang dah makan ke belum? Jangan apa pula nanti makan tengah hari, tapi yang penting stay tuned, because right now the track is open for our official qualifying rookie class. 5 cars will be on the track, and let's see who will be the first car out.
15 minutes to take it, and nobody seems to be taking the bite yet. Oh wait, no, I stand corrected. 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars. I think all the rookies will be jumping out into the track right about now. So all going in. First time going to be out here in qualifying officially in Sepang circuit in these incredible Vios racing machines. 1.6 cc are all of these cars, exactly the same amount of power, exactly the same amount of weight. No difference at all between these individual machines. It's all down to the drivers here, our rookie drivers, to make the most out of it.
Yep, I'm not going to say they have DRS, because these are not F1 cars. They're not going to have front wings. And here is Alex Yong giving his full focus to see how his kids, we can call him, these are his kids, his pupils, his students, his disciples, going on track, because I'm sure that after yesterday's practice, they went through all of the telemetry, all of the data, see where they can improve, where they can push, and where they can eliminate any mistake. That is important, eliminating mistakes and giving their best on track as everybody's going for their outlap, and we will see car number 27, Aidan Khalid, which as mentioned, I've met before personally. He's in karts, and let's see if you can bring that kart knowledge in karting into this race.
And you know, especially knowing from past seasons that the rookies that tend to come from karting, from a karting background, tend to get very competitive against the sim racing background drivers here. So I expect to see a little bit of that spark fly a little bit, but nevertheless, you know, it's going to be a learning experience for everyone. You know, driving a kart versus driving a full size car can be very different at times. You know, we're talking about front wheel drive versus rear wheel drive. We've got softer suspension compared to the very stiff setups that karts normally have. So
in the corners always.
Yep. So a lot of like a bit of a learning curve it is actually to be able to get up to speed in these cars, and you know, especially the sliding that you have to do on especially the fast corners here. It can be a little bit of a tricky thing, but you know, I'm sure that all these drivers, thanks to our Toyota Gazoo Racing Young Talent Development Program, will be certainly up for the challenge here.
And also clocking in right now in first place is Rahul Dev, being followed by Genevieve. Ian James is in third, fourth is Harikesh, and number 5 is Aidan Khalik. But as mentioned, this is just their first laps, and we have another 10 minutes for them to push hard and see who will be the one taking that pole position in the rookie category.
Yeah, it's an entirely brand new rookie class grid here. We really have to just see how their actual performance out on the track here is going to speak for themselves here, because this is literally going to be the first time we're seeing them in action in these Toyota Vios. So with Justin Raul Dev having the provisional fastest time right now, well, that's going to be very exciting news here. But I think as we are seeing times collapse now, Aidan Khalik has actually taken over with a time of 1:27.1. Hakiesh has actually beaten him to a punch by a whole 1/10 of a second there. But Aidan Khalik comes right back there. I think there's a little bit of a switching around at the timings here. But Aidan Khalik right now, as you can see, he is the provisional pole sitter here. By 1/10 of a second, 1:27.295 here is the time to beat if you want to be on pole for the rookie class.
Genevieve is only 900ths of a second behind Aidan Khalik, and Ian James is 1.07. That is almost a 9/10 behind. That's almost a full second behind Genevieve. Genevieve showing that she can improve her time, because during training practice she was still trying to get the balance of the car. There were times when she was like looking not very comfortable going into corners, but it seems like she's making it stick, and currently she's clocking at 1:07.385 in her last lap.
Yeah, and interestingly, even though Justin Raul Dev was able to set the fastest time out of all the the fastest maximum speed out of all the drivers here with 161.2 kilometers per hour, Genevieve conversely was able to set a 160.7 and was still significantly faster than Justin Raul Dev's time. So it goes to show that Justin is struggling a little bit with the more technical sections of this track, as it were, because even that advantage of top speed is not helping him too much. Although, as I say that, he's actually improved on his last lap now, so he's up to a 1:27.1. That's enough to put him up into second place. Still not enough to beat Hakiesh's best time, though. He, in fact, has also improved as well. A 1:26.904 here for Akiesh Jiva for car number 24, and he is certainly on a roll now.
Yep, he's on the roll, on board. Harkiesh currently, car number 24, he is in first place as mentioned, but he is clocking his first sector, not his personal best, while the other drivers are Rahul and also Aidan able to clock their personal best. Only difference is 200ths of a second between these two. On board with Harkiesh currently, as you can see, smooth and steady going down that turn, and he is not pushing that hard because he knows that he still have a lot of time to actually improve and finding that good racing line. And it was right here last season when 9 cars went out of the racetrack.
Yeah, but I do believe it was kind of sketchy conditions.
It was after the rain.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. But I think the onboard goes to show just how much of a needle a needle hole you have to thread, going through that final corner, which is exactly what I was saying, that that is the really tricky part of the circuit here. It's literally that final corner, and Hakiesh has done very well in order to navigate through that. Also, just set another faster time. It's improved by maybe about a tenth of a second, maybe. Still in the 126s, but this time 126.764. As you can see, car number 8, unfortunately, that's going to be Justin Raul, has hit track limits over at turn 4. So I believe it's turn 4 where track limits are being monitored here. They are being enforced. Not so much the final turn, which has been a bit of a controversy in past seasons, but nevertheless, this time around, it's turn 4 that all the drivers have to pay particular attention to, and particularly for Justin Raul Dev, he has to be able to avoid.
Yeah, that's the right turn.
Yeah, this very turn that you see on screen right now is turn number 4, and that's where if you go off, that's going to be a lap deletion on the cards for you. Hakiesh getting past Genevieve Oy on track right now, or will he be able to get past her? Because it seems like Genevieve is not really giving much room.
Defending.
Yeah, actually defending her line a little bit, so a bit of space being left here by Hakiesh, which is the right call to do, given that they were kind of side by side in that transition, but things have settled down now with Hakiesh leading the train of cars going into the track.
So currently we have 7 minutes left on the clock. As we can see, cars are going past. The car number 27, Aidan. Track limits at turn 4 again. That right turn, as discussed, maybe he took too much of the curb, trying to go to that right. And as mentioned, that turn was specifically mentioned in the driver's briefing. You go over it, it's track limit violation.
Yeah, that's such a shame as well, because I think he had set the second fastest time here, so I think it might get deleted later on here. But that's a shame. But again, that's what the rookies have to learn the hard way here. You cut the track limits at your peril, and unfortunately, given that turn 4 is a rather tricky one to do, especially if you're entering it at very high speed, or rather like braking into it super hard. It can be sometimes really tricky to get the exit just right, and if you just cross over the line with all 4 tires off the track, that's it. That's a deleted lap right there.
And a hot lap, we are on board with Genevieve Oy. Now, what can she do? She's currently in 5th position with a last lap of 1:35.327. Can she improve, at least bringing it up to maybe another top 3 performance? Because currently she is in the last position, but again, we still have 5 minutes on the clock, going slow, smooth and steady, going out into that turn 9. Can she improve? 23, 24, and it's 26. No, it's 28. And she is still in that 5th position, where she is looking, if we're looking at the last lap, she is actually faster than Harikesh, but Harikesh already crosses the line with 1:34. She is quicker.
She is a little bit quicker, but again,
we are waiting for the time to be updated.
Yeah. But I think again, given that they are running only a single set of tires, this is already the point where the tires are beyond their optimal point in terms of overall traction. So you're going to see that the performance, the time is going to get increasingly worse and worse as the session goes on here. So I don't know what exactly will be the thing that they can do at this point right now to try and improve, because they know that the longer they run out here, the worse off they are going to be in terms of that, in terms of their overall timing. So very unfortunate here for Genevieve Oy. In spite of her best efforts, not going to be able to get much improvement out of that last lap. We still have 4 minutes to go here, so there's still plenty of time running out on track. Perhaps it could, especially for drivers like Hakiesh, who is on your screen right now, can certainly focus his attention to getting himself well acclimated to the current conditions out on track here, which may change later on as the weather continues to shift out here in Sepang International Circuit. But with the time already set here, with already holding that provisional pole, and with no one else seemingly able to improve so much, he's basically issuing in for pole position here for the rookie class.
Correct, and as you can see, after crossing the line, he's still maintaining that 1st position. The gap between first and second is 1/10 of a second, where Aidan for sure trying to improve, but on board that is Harikesh, looking very, very steady and turning into that turn 1 and turn 2, going that S. I mean, among the places where you can lock up if the speed is not right, because it's like almost going a little bit down the slope, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's very much downhill.
No, it's downhill, so if you misplace the car, the speed is not right, and suddenly you slam in that brake, yep, your front tires will be chewed a lot.
And not to mention as well, like those first 2 turns are extremely important on the in the actual race itself, because it's the most prime position for actual overtaking on the track. So that transition, especially between turns 1 and 2, is super important. It's like a very dead drop actually once you get past the apex. So oftentimes you can see drivers use that to their advantage, trying to slip themselves into the inside, trying to snatch the apex away from the car ahead of them, so that they can set themselves out to come out of turn 2 in the lead. So it's very important for these drivers to get themselves very well acquainted with those first 2 turns, because they're going to be using that a lot later on in the actual race.
So Aidan Khalid clocking in 26.0905, still not good enough to actually challenge Harikesh, but having said so, he is currently in that top 2 position, and not changing between Rahul and also Ian James and also Genevieve. We're waiting for any more improvement with only 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, guys.
Yeah, as of right now, I think these drivers are more or less just getting themselves settled into that race mode right now, getting those consistent laps down and making sure that they are in tip-top shape for our race later on. They will be starting, of course, alongside the super sporting class to make up the rest of the grid. They will be starting several grid positions behind the last car of the super sporting class. So they very much will be racing amongst only themselves, but they will have the other super sporting class drivers on track together with them as well. So that also becomes another potential for drama, because at times, especially if things happen with the super sporting class drivers, contacts or incidents and like, sometimes it pushes them into the clutches of the rookie class drivers. So again, they will have to be super on it when it comes to their race IQ. Don't try to fight too hard against the super sporting class, because you're not actually fighting
them.
Fighting them.
And don't block them.
Exactly. So
blue flag. Give way.
But I think sometimes it's also, the door also goes both ways. Sometimes the super sporting class drivers also have to be a bit cognizant that some of the rookie drivers are literally very new to actual wheel-to-wheel racing. So they also have to give a little bit away as well to them to make sure they don't interfere with the races so much. But as it stands, though, I think in terms of actual improvements on track, I don't see any potential for them to actually improve too much. I think all across the board, everyone is just hovering around that 127s, just getting themselves in that race pace mode, as I was mentioning earlier.
Yep, they are waiting for the checkered flag to fall, and I believe from what I can see from the timing chart, Harikesh is going to be leading the pack, but still he is on a very hot lap. Can he improve? That's the big question. Can he improve his time from his last lap, which is 127.140? He is clocking a purple first sector. How about in his second sector, going out into this final turn?
A little bit wide on that last turn, but very nice and tidy on the off run coming on that final corner. So as he comes across the line, what will be his time? 127.82, so not an improvement at all, but out of the final laps that we're seeing here, Aiden comes across also a 127, but a 27.1. Justin Raudev also takes checker flag 127.8. So even in the closing moments of this race here, the race pace coming from Hakiesh is still looking very, very good. That purple first sector as well, very impressive to see from the youngster.
So if we look at the gap time, everyone is within that 1 second. In fact, within 300ths of a second. It shows how very closely matched these rookies that we have on board, and how much they have learned from their practice session yesterday, the unofficial and also the official practice session. And I can say they are showing what they are made of. Good job, well done. We are waiting for the provisional timing that will be shown on screen after this. But overall, it is a very, very good outing for these 5 rookies. A second place is Aidan Khalik bin Muhammad Hafiz, clocked in at 27.193, but his best lap is 1 minute 26.905.
Yeah, so as it stands right now, a very competitive rookie field. Very, very good to see from our brand new rookies in 2025 that they are super competitive even from the get-go. An impressive debut here for Hakiesh. Impressive as well from Justin Raul Dev. Like both of them, Justin Raul Dev as well as Hakiesh, are both they both have sim racing experience. In particular, Hakiesh himself is only a recreational karter as well, so he has a bit of karting experience to also help him in this regard. But again, setting at 126.7, that's a very nice time to see here off of the rookie class drivers who, mind you, are also using a slightly older spec of Toyota Vios compared to the ones we see in the super sporting and sporting class. So for them to be able to set these times from the get-go, already super impressive.
Yes, indeed. And we still have one more category left for our qualifying session, which is the sporting class. As mentioned, there will be a 2 qualifying shootout session, and maybe, possibly, it's going to be the same as how it happened for super sporting class. And here is going to be, I believe, the results, where Harikesh is currently in pole position with 1 minute 26.764, followed by Aidan Khalik with 1:26.905, followed by Justin Rahul Dev, Ian James, and also Genevieve Oy with 127.385. As mentioned, only 0.3 of a second in total between all of these drivers. Very close, very compact, and I'm looking forward for the race in this category.
Very well done for our brand new rookie drivers in 2025. Graduates of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Young Talent Development Program. They've certainly done us all very, very proud. As we have a look at the highlights now for the rookie qualifying session, a very rather uneventful one, as drivers are very much focused on keeping it clean in these laps here, because of course the race is happening later on this evening here, so they don't want to end up out in the gravel.
They don't want to damage the car
exactly
for no reason. I mean, there's only 5 cars on the track. You ain't gonna hit anyone unless those 5 cars on the track. So they better take it slow and steady.
Yeah, just get themselves into the zone. I keep mentioning this a lot here, but psychology plays a very big part, especially in the spec racing series where all your competitors have literally similar machines, similar power to weight ratios. So you have to be absolutely perfect in both, sound in both like mind and body here, because your performance as a driver is going to determine everything that's out on track here. As of all of that, it seems like Hakiesh is the one who's able to stand head and shoulders above the rest with that fastest time, providing him the provisional pole result that he has been certainly looking forward to all weekend long. So now it's just a matter of them getting themselves prepped and ready for their first race of the season.
You're watching live wherever you are across the globe, and also watching from Thailand also. Sawadee Krap, how are you? Because we also have drivers from Thailand in our, I believe it's sporting class right after this. So don't forget to give shout out, and don't forget to give your support for your country. And if you're watching live for the rookie session, we just finished, and we will go into the most competitive, I would say competitive, because sporting class is a return of the big names, and where we have the return rookies with high pedigree like Mika, and then also Adam Mikhail also is there. It's just gonna be a very solid group. I just can't wait to see what will be the outcome of their qualifying session. Or are we gonna see a game of chicken in that second qualifying shootout?
I mean, one thing's going to be for sure, the grid for the sporting class is usually very, very packed. So there's going to be a lot more cars out on track. There's going to be a lot of traffic situations that will unfold over the course of our 2 shootout qualifying sessions here for the sporting class. So like you mentioned, it's already super competitive alone just from the stack of names that we have here. Some of them even having competed ever since Season 1, the first ever season that we've done here for the Vios Challenge. So it's going to be a super, super tough qualifying session here to do. But that's going to be the challenge that these drivers will have to face up to.
Yep, and you're with me, the big man Decipher, and also my buddy Victor. And we will be your commentator for this edition of Toyota Gazoo Racing 2025 round number 1, wherever you're watching, from Malaysia, from Brunei, from Thailand, from Philippines, and across the globe. We would like to say hi and hope you'll stay until the end of our live stream for today.
Yeah, it's a very exciting weekend. You know, the first race for our Vios Challenge in 2025. A brand new season, a brand new era here for us here at Toyota Gazoo Racing. And certainly with the brand new names that are coming up, and also the returning drivers from past seasons, returning rookies, you know, from even seasons way, way past. It's a great, great day here to be a motorsports fan. So out here in Sepang Circuit, we are getting set up for our final qualifying group of the day, which is going to be our sporting class. Again, we're running a shootout format, which is a brand new format that's brought to you here in this season. And we got to see that from the preview that we got from the super sporting class, I'm thinking we're going to be seeing a similar type of situation here for the sporting class. You know, everyone's going to be vying to stay out of relegation in that first qualifying session, and the second qualifying session is where you literally have to be on your best form.
And also shout out to all of our viewers if you're watching from Thailand. Here is your driver, I believe, Monai, driving for Team RUK, Team Nexa PMC 52. Car number 89 will be the one that you will be supporting. And also, if you're watching, if you're from the sim racing by the name of Taj Aiman, as you know, he is the level benchmark for sim racing. He's done it all in Toyota, and now he is putting his hands behind a real car. But I tell you, yesterday, he actually did pretty well. Consistently, in practice, top 5.
I mean, we've seen with drivers like Nakib Aslan, for example, you know, he's been a stellar competitor in the sim racing field. Like, practically wins almost every international sim racing event he's ever competed in. The first time he made his debut in sporting class, got pole position, won the first race. So that's the kind of like standard that Taj Aiman, who is, by the way, the 4-time champion of the GT Cup.
Yeah, GT Cup.
Yeah, so the Gran Turismo champion of Malaysia, like the very champion himself, is finally going to put his hands behind the wheel of a real car to show us what he's got. And boy, does he have a huge legacy to live up to, especially with you know, Nakib Aslan being on the sidelines. You know, I think for the sim racing community in Malaysia, we're going to be very much behind Taj Izrin Aiman here in his debut in the TGR Vios Challenge.
As the cars has been released onto the track, let's see who will be the top 8 drivers that will advance into the second round shootout. Because as mentioned, we have 20 cars, 20 drivers. Only 8 will be advancing into qualifying shootout number 2. So the first to be out, as we can see, we see Fu Wok Seng, Ahmad Mikhail Hakimi, that is Mika, Sofia Zara, and I see that almost everybody's going out. They do not want to stay long because they know in this 15 minutes with 20 cars on the track, it's all about getting into the good position, slipstreaming, and getting that top 8 finish.
So Mika Hakimi, great to see him back here. He was a past rookie, I believe, from the season of 2022 or 23. Like, he has been a rookie It's one of the graduates of our rookie program here, and finally great to see him make his step up into the sporting class. He's going to be taking car number 33, S&D Tama Motorsports. He's ensuring, he's also another driver that has a sim racing background. In fact, I first met him in a sim racing championship back in the day at the Playbox, and it's great to see him grow up into such a mature and a very well-spoken driver. I mean, again, it's such a fun guy to hang out with, and great to see him be able to fight alongside our sporting class drivers. So as we are awaiting our times to come in, as you can see, with 20 cars already signed up and confirmed for this weekend, it's going to be a very jam-packed qualifying session here. A lot of traffic to navigate through, so it's not going to be easy to get that clear, consistent running all throughout. You just literally have to make the most of the opportunities that you are able to get, and those opportunities may be far and fleeting in between the 15 minutes that we have for Q1.
And as we know that the track temperature is on a rise, so for sure there will be a lot of rubber that will be laid on track. So the track evolution will be a factor in this qualifying session, because as later day the track will be a little bit hotter and the tire will be a little bit more baked properly. That's how I like to say it. And when the track is also hot, the tire will also wear. So tire management again will be very, very important.
So again, there are a lot of really new names in here, but also a lot of returning drivers. Dr. Ken Fu will be one to look out for. He's not really seen much success, in spite of the fact that he's been running for many, many seasons, but he's been a super consistent performer, always within the top 5 in every season. So I'm hoping to see that he's going to continue to show us what he's got here in 2025. We got the brand new drivers, of course, joining in here. We got another entry that's returning from Singapore. Daniel Uy is going to be joining us again in this season after having taken part. He's making his debut back in 2024.
2-car track limits, car 71 and a car...
No, it's just 71.
Just car 71?
Yeah, that's Taj Aiman, unfortunately. So Taj already getting the ire of the race control by cutting turn number 4. So
again, that turn has proved to be... And I think there'll be another car that just got a track limit, which is car 32, from what I can see just now, but it will be shown on screen. But again, turn 4 has become a dark void where whoever ventures into it, it's a track violation and time deleted.
Yeah, so, well, a bit unfortunate, but again, that's what race control is here for, to make sure everyone stays in line, everyone follows the rules of the track, as it were. This has already been mentioned in the briefing for all the drivers yesterday, so certainly it's something they will have to take to heart as they get into their qualifying paces here. Adam Mikhail at the moment, having set the fastest time of a 1:25.282. He currently holds that provisional pole position ahead of Mika Hakimi. In fact, he's 0.5 of a second faster than Mika Hakimi, so that's an incredible time here that Adam Mikhail has managed to pull off here.
Yes, Adam Mikhail, and as I mentioned, car number 33 again. That is going to be lap time deleted. And as you can see, our steward, our marshal is ever so vigilant, because it's already been discussed in the drivers' meeting. Turn number 4, be careful, be careful. And I guess so many infringement has been made, and there is a lot of time that has been deleted on board right now. That is car number 9, which is Teo Hong Zhu, currently in 9th position. A good improvement from this driver, clocking in at 26.298 after 3 laps in this 15 minutes qualifying.
Yeah, a brand new driver has moved up into provisional pole. That's going to be Juan He, car number 93 at 125.1. Are we going to be able to see some of these guys dip into the 124s? I think it might be on the cards here for Juan He and Adam Mikhail. Should they be able to find more time on the track? But I think given the margin they have compared to the rest of the field, they should be feeling very secure here. Certainly going to be a shoe-in into qualifying 2 with that kind of pace that we're seeing here right from the get-go.
Yep, from the get-go, number 33 car, as we can see, there is Mika Hakimi. And going into the pit lane, maybe a little bit of change of settings, maybe a little bit high on the suspension, maybe checking the tires, make sure that the tire temp and also tire pressure is all good. And on screen currently from a GTA race team, that is, I believe, Aisha, which is currently in number 15, clocking the best time at 1:36.560. Only 9,000 of a second, I believe, different behind to Raja Amirul Shaukat from TD Racing.
So I could see right now from the timings, I mean, Juan He and Adam Mikhail are certainly, you know, the front runners in this qualifying one. But I think from Mika Hakimi all the way down, the rest of the grip is the rest of the leaderboard here might just be up for grabs, as we're seeing a lot of competitiveness between P3 all the way down to P6 Touch Ayman. So we'll see whether or not they'll be able to find those improvements on the track. Q1 is the only session where the mechanics will be allowed to make adjustments, last-minute adjustments as they need it. During this qualifying session, Q2 is where Parc Fermé rules come into effect. So this is the only opportunity here for these drivers to get any changes done to the cars set up for the race. But as of right now, it's just pretty much all about the timings here. They've already got the banker laps in. Now it's time to show us what their ultimate pace is going to look like.
Yep, we only have 7 minutes left on the clock. This is Elson Liu in car number 32, trying to improve time. Currently, where does he sit? Can he improve going into this lap? And we are waiting for the time. Crosses the line, possibly, maybe.
Yep, does improve his time.
Yeah,
moves up ahead of Mika Hakimi to take P3 provisional. And that actually beat him by less than a tenth of a second to the line. So there's certainly time to be found here. And just as predicted, you know, from Mika Hakimi all the way down to Touch Ayman, there could be potential for these guys to find some time because the gaps between them are within a tenth of a second. In fact, I think the closest gap I can see amongst all of them is like Brandon Ho versus Raja Amil Shaukat, two very young drivers, also former rookies, I should mention as well. Also being super competitive and up there in the top 5.
And again, if they feel that they are comfortable already in the top echelon, like top 4, I mean, as you can see, 3 drivers are already in the pit, maybe waiting. Do they need to go out? And a limited slide from car number 7, that is Brandon Ho. Currently best lap of 125.901. Can he improve from 6 going forward? He is taking a slipstream, a good idea, crossing the line. Where will he be? And still 6. Yeah, still 6.
Still 6. I don't think he even improved.
He didn't move.
Yeah, didn't even improve his time there. But perhaps this slipstream that he managed to get off of Ashen Shanmuganathan might be able to help him a little bit as we have a look again, you know. These cars have to slide when it comes to these super fast corners here, because that's really the only way to consistently be able to get your nose pointed in the right direction, as it were. So car control is super tricky, you know, even in these Vios cars out on track. You know, they are not particularly powerful, although I say that they are rather light, standing only like 1,100 kilograms, if I'm not mistaken, without any additional ballasts or weights. So very light, very nimble, a little bit underpowered, but that's why you need to be able to maximize your average speed throughout the corner, and to ensure that your car is able to point in the right direction. Sometimes you have to induce a little bit of a slide, do a little bit of drifting, just like Houghton Pujan likes to do it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes getting that slide is very, very important. As you can know, sometimes when you have a very light rear and you know how to apply the pressure on the throttle, getting the car forward, As you can see, Max Verstappen, that is his trademark. I mean, that is his trademark to find those extra tenth of a second. But however, that is an F1 car with every single aerodynamic loads, but this is a stock car, so it's all about the skill of the driver. And this is Nick from Sukudo Racing. Best lap is 26.298. Can he improve? This is currently Nick. He is in 10th position, is he?
Yep, he is in 10th right now. Comes across the line. Does he get any improvement? Oh, I don't think I see any movement of the needle there. Nick still remains in P10 for now. His last lap still looking, 127.2. Not quite enough here to be able to dethrone some of these drivers who are running in the mid to low 126s.
And currently the least lap done is the top two drivers, which is car 93 and also 77, with only 4 laps of tire life. And they have managed to maintain in their top two. So I believe if they make it into the second shootout, which is looking very likely in my book, possibly maybe they'll have an advantage in tire life to actually push, maybe to improve their position in that second shootout.
Exactly. That will pretty much be the strategy from them here on out. I mean, they've already guaranteed their slot going into Q2. Unlikely they're going to be knocked out of relegation, especially taking provisional pole and second place. That tends to do it here. But for everyone else, there's still positions up for grabs here. So, and especially given how competitive the timing is for the top 8, I mean, we're going to be waiting to see how who exactly is going to be able to get the improvement. Nick THZ going up against Adele Liu on the main straight, taking a little bit slipstream, but not too much. Comes across the line at 126. That's enough to put him up into provisional 8th place. So there's an improvement coming here from Nick THZ.
Yep, he managed to get that slipstream. Helps him at the end, jump by 2 spots. And as we can see, for that little slipstream is powerful enough. And we are on board car number 93. Which is, I believe that is Hee Wan Jan, waiting to see is he going out. He doesn't seem like going out because his time is probably safe.
Yeah, I think it's practically in like Park Fermi mode right now.
Park Fermi mode.
Just parking in the on the pit lane, which is where Park Fermi is, and just basically sitting and chilling, waiting for the end of qualifying 1, so they can. He's already himself mentally set up for Q2 for sure.
Wait, I just saw a jump, I believe, by Raja Amirul Shaukat. He was out of the 8th position. Now he is. I believe he is in 5th position. That is absolutely stunning by Raja Amirul Shaukat. Where yesterday he was trying out certain lines, where to find the additional 10th, additional 100ths here. And it seems like from this moment on, with only 58 seconds left on the clock, we did not even realize. It seems like the top 8 might be very secured. But Taj Aiman is still in an outlap.
Still on an outlap, still...
Does he make it?
I don't know. Like, with 40 seconds, it could be really... Like, it might not even be enough, actually. So, we'll see. The checker flag is yet to be shown here out on track at the moment, but there's still about 30 seconds left. So, anyone else who is still out on track may be able to put in their final flying laps. For those who are already still inside the pits, I think the opportunity has come to pass already. But for the 2 guys up in the top, they're not going to be too concerned. For the guys inside the top 8, it's still very much a mad dash here, especially for those who are outside the top 8. Well, this is literally going to be the only opportunity left for them to get into Q2.
And also the driver in danger zone is car number 9. I believe that is Nick THZ. Looking at his time, being chased by Monai currently, with the difference of only hundredths of a second. 100th of a second, that is not safe. But Raja Amirul Shaukat still on the road, still trying to improve. Can he maintain in the top 8? Looking at the timesheet, he is probably, in my book, safe. But if he can improve from his best lap of 125.898, that will be a very, very good lap indeed.
As you were mentioning that just now, I think both Adele Liu as well as Varun Shit have already both dethroned him from that 8th spot. So both of them are now ahead of Nick THZ. Checker flag is already out, ladies and gentlemen. Rajamir Shaukat and Taj Isrin Ayman have both taken it. They are inside of the top 8. Daniel Ui as well as Fu Kwok Xing, aka Dato Ken Fu, have both taken the checker flag outside of the top 8. We're waiting to see if anyone else, I think Monai is still out on track right now. He's going to be coming across the line very soon. Is he going to be able to improve his time, stay in that top 8?
Oh,
he does move up into 7th place. Taj Isrin Ayman is in that relegation zone, or will he be able to stay for Q2 though?
I think he'll stay.
I think he'll stay, yeah.
I think he'll stay.
I don't think this is anyone else still running. Everyone else who's out on track has taken the checkered flag, so Taj Isrin Ayman barely makes it into Q2.
By only 900ths of a second. That is razor blade close.
Wow, yeah. So very unfortunate though for Nick THZ. Very unfortunate for Adele Liu, who was able to get herself up into 9th place, but still two tenths of a second slower to Taj Ayman, and that unfortunately puts her out of the top 8. Same thing as well with Danny's Ung, only able to put up a 13th place here, 1.3 or 1.4 seconds practically slower than Juan He's fastest time. So there we go. The eligible cars right now is going to be Juan He, Adam Mikhail, Elson Liu, Mika Hakimi, Raja Mio Shaukat, Brandon Ho, Monai, as well as Taj Isrin Ayman.
That was a very, very close for the final slot by Varun Jit. First, he was like, can he make it? He jumped 2 spots. And then Taj Isrin Ayman, he was like, can he make it? And when he looked around, there is no cars on track. He will be like, I am safe. So on screen is car number 71, Taj Isrin Ayman, saved by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, whew, that is certainly going to be a heart stopper if I've ever seen one. Taj Isrin Ayman, our Malaysian Gran Turismo multi-time champion here in the GT Cup, also a product of the racing programs that TGR has done, both in real life as well as in virtual reality. And Taj Ayman has now traded his sim racing gloves for some real racing gloves here, and boy, finally making it to Q2. What a debut it is here for Taj Ayman. What a debut again for Mika Hakimi as well, qualifying in 4th provisionally in Q1, getting into Q2 here. An impressive performance for our returning rookie driver from a few years past.
Yes, indeed. Bringing home 2 gold medals at SOCMA in the previous edition for esports. Mika Hakimi showing his mettle, but again, it's all about the second qualifying shootout. Who will be going into the front row? Who will be playing the chicken? Waiting to go first. You go first lah. No, you go first. Silakan. After you.
No.
But it's all about getting that good first time out. Looking at the laps, the first 2 drivers only managed to do 4 laps. Remember, Freddie Ng did 3.
Just 3, like out lap, flying lap, and then in lap.
Yes.
That's it.
And he's safe. So this shows the level of competency that our drivers have in Toyota Gazoo Racing 2025, this edition, round 1. As we know, Abang Nas mentioned, as we also mentioned at the commentary table, there will be 4 rounds. This is the first round, so we'll be waiting for the official, or should I say the provisional results that will be shown to you on screen very, very shortly. And we will be waiting where the official qualifying tool will start at 10:40. That will be in less 5 minutes.
Yeah, It's going to be a very quick turnaround, I think, going into our Q2. And only the top 8 drivers from qualifying 1 will make it into the final shootout. Parc Fermé rules will be in effect, so that means that all of our top 8 drivers will not have any opportunity to change any of their setups, not even top up a bit of fuel to go in because what the car they have already qualified in from Q1 will have to be carried forward into Q2 and will also carry forward into the race.
And not much action as in going, well, if you're talking about off track, yes, there was abundance of it, abundance of laps that was deleted, but no accidents, no bumping into each other, everything was kept clean. And again, Adam Mikhail shows his mettle where he is going into the next lap. Could he be the favorite? Maybe yes, but there's a lot of heavy hitters drivers with good pedigree in that top 8. So it could be anyone's game. As you can see, number 33, that is a Mika Hakimi. As I mentioned, a 2 gold medal from Sukma Sim Racing. I mean, for the first time, I think he represented Wilayah Persekutuan that time. It was him. Surprisingly, that team consists of him, Iman Danish, Sharik, and also Kingston. All of them are product from Toyota Gazoo Racing Young Drivers Development.
Yeah. It's been a super successful program here, you know, that I mean 22 drivers have graduated from that program and they've been racing in many different series all across the world. I mean, even Nakib Aslan, who is also a product of this very driver program himself, has made his first Japanese debut. Japan in the GR86 Cup, and in fact won the first race. He's literally on his debut, so it goes to show the level of talent that are involved here in our racing series. So, ladies and gentlemen, here are your provisional results for the Sporting official qualifying number 1. Juan He will be the one who takes the provisional pole position here, a time of 125.153, doing things proud for his team, Hong Kwan X Armada KK Racing. Adam Mikhail takes the second for G-Mart Motorsport. Elson Liu takes it for Bay Racing by ES Young in 3rd place. In 4th place, we have Mika Hakimi for SSD Tama Motorsports. Rajamil Shaukat takes 5th position here for TD Racing. Brandon Ho from Axel Sports takes up the 6th spot here. Monai, our Thai driver amongst the grid, makes it into the top 8 here with a time of 125.9. He does it for RUK team next to PMC 42. Taj Izrin Ayman makes it into the Q2 with top 8 time of 126.0. That's for Saksama Motorsports. And Del Yu from Team Focus makes it in 9th. Nick THZ from Sakuda Racing makes it in 10th spot. As we go on to the next page, Daniel Inuskui Oi from Singapore from Bay Racing by ES Young makes it into 11th place. Dato Ken Fu from Kulim Top Wheels makes it up into 12. Dennis Ng, HLT Crestmax Motorsports, makes it into 13th place. Chu Yong Chun from Haiwa Racing Team makes it 14th. Sophia Zara, Super Evergreen Motorsport, makes it into the 15th spot. Yazid Imran, a returning rookie driver driving for FIA Boulevard Racing, makes it into 16th. Nung Aisha rounds it up in 17th place for GTA Race Team. Shan Muganathan Agurgam makes it into 18th place. His son, Ashen Shan Muganathan, makes it into 19th place. Both of them driving for Kashash Vina Motorsports Racing. And last but not least, Joshua Lee from UniHub and DMW1 Motorsport Team makes it into 20th spot.
So going into our second shootout, well, 10:40 should be another minute, I believe.
Yep.
Before we will start, but is there gonna be a car? Somebody's already waiting.
Yeah, number 77 is already out there.
Adam Mikhail.
Adam Mikhail cannot wait to get things started. I wanted to actually highlight one of the comments I'm seeing here from Facebook. There's a bit of discussion about the cars that are being used here, so I can verify that the engines that are used in the Vios cars here, they're only slightly modified. They have a change of the exhaust header, but that's pretty much it. It's literally the same type of engine you can get in the road going Toyota Vios, just with a slightly different exhaust header. As for the transmission, they're still using a 5-speed manual transmission. So
Wait, anybody racing on auto?
Not in this series, though. It's all
These guys on auto. These guys on auto.
They're still using manual transmission, still using a stick shift, by the way. Specifically, the cars are modified in that way because I believe this generation of Vios only comes in a automatic transmission, but they have been converted to a manual here, specifically for the Vios Challenge. So that's again manual transmission for these cars. Only a slightly modified engine. There's no actual change to the engine block or the pistons there, so it's very much a similar engine that you can get in the road-going Vios cars that you can buy in the Toyota showrooms.
Two cars are already on track. That is car number 77, Adam Mikael, and car number 32, Elson Liu. They are not waiting. They are going out. They are going at it. They want to make a perfect lap, and then they'll just want to rest in the pit.
Yeah,
because they did manage to produce some very good lap time in the first shootout.
Yeah, but I think these guys, they just want to take advantage of like the
Clean
more or
air.
less clean air is one, but I think it's more of the empty track, more or less. Although as I say that, you can see Mika Hakimi is following closely behind Monai, aka Varun Shit. So Mika is definitely going to be using, or rather just following along with Monai out on track here during the start of qualifying 2. Don't see the timer going down on screen. Okay, there. Now it's updated. So of course the pit lane exit is already opens here for the last couple of minutes. So already some cars are deciding to go out. I think Brandon Ho is still electing to stay within the pits here. You got his crew chief, which is Alistair Young, overlooking the whole situation here, just keeping track of the time right now. I think they're definitely going for that late start strategy that we saw a lot of super sporting class drivers do in their own Q2 session. So yeah, Brandon Ho is going to take a little bit of time before he goes out. They know that they're going to try to find a nice clear spot in the track there, to let him out. But everyone else, they're already out there fighting, already going on their outlaps.
Yep, because it's very imperative that you do not go out when there is a clear traffic when you are starting your hot lap. That will not be a good day in the F-Quiz. As you know, like in track like Monza, yep, traffic will always become a big issue. But I believe they have the strategy. There must be a reason for their madness. Or they don't even want to go out because they're already in the top 8. That could be the whole plan altogether.
But then again, you're like leaving like opportunities on the table there. If you don't go out at all in Q2, it's like you're just basically resigning from this session entirely. And I don't think that's something you want to do, especially with the race coming up like in a few hours. So at the very least, I expect that Brandon Ho will be coming out maybe in the last half of this race here. Final 8 minutes. But they're certainly taking their sweet time. Everyone else, though, they're now coming through and they're going to be starting their flying laps.
As we can see currently, Adam Mikael is in first with the best lap time of a 1:25.735, overtaken by car number 32. That is, I believe, Elson Liu, with a gap, you wouldn't believe me, it's just 0.07 of a second.
That's crazy. That's a crazy margin here. We're seeing the pit lane. A lot of the mechanics just watching intently here, keeping an eye on their drivers here, just nervously anticipating what times it will be. So with 8 cars on a track here, I mean, to your point, there's not really a lot of traffic here in this qualifying session. So really, there's a lot of gaps on the track to be found here for these drivers to slot in, for Brandon Ho especially.
He just went out.
Yeah, he's just went out. So I think he's finally found the right time to go out there and get his time done. We're going to be waiting to see what Mika Hakimi and Taj Isrin Ayman will do, because they should be coming across the line very soon.
Yep, there they are.
There they are indeed on our screens right now. Right behind actually is Taj Isrin Ayman. Rajamil Shaukat comes across the line, sets a time there. Ooh, Taj Ayman makes his way onto the front row. A time only 0.04 of a second slower than Elson Liu. That's incredible. Adam Mikael immediately comes in there, sets the fastest time of the session so far, 1:25.4 here, dethroning both Elson Liu as well as Juan He, who has also set a time there, but not enough to take over from Adam Mikael. So literally the first guy to come out, he already came out swinging there and took the fastest lap. So what did I tell you?
Yep, he took the fastest lap with 0.2 of a second in front of Wang Yanhee. But I believe with this close of the pack in the field, in the timing, I think it's going to be a straight race. Oh, car 71 again. Taj Izrin Aiman. Again, that turn 4 is like a black hole sucking unsuspected cars into oblivion. You touch it, you cross it, and it's out.
Yeah, no time here
For the fourth time.
For the fourth time
Fourth
here.
time. It's the same corner.
Taj Ayman's gonna have to get it together soon here because this is absolutely...
He was in the top 3.
He was in the top 3 that last time there, but unfortunately, because when you cut that track limit, you know, you gain a hidden advantage there. So that's why the track limits tend to be policed around that corner, precisely because, you know, if you cut that track limit, you can gain some additional time that you would otherwise get if you followed like the track limits out here in turn 4. So unfortunately for Taj Ayman, he's going to have to do it one more time. It might actually compromise his ability to compete with the top 3 here, unfortunately. But we'll see how he will be able to bounce back from this. In the meantime, we're on board with car number 33, Mika Hakimi, following behind Taj Izrin Ayman here. So both of them, Mika Hakimi though has had better success. He's currently 4th place provisionally. And Taj Ayman, he's the one who's under immense pressure here. So we'll see how this will turn out.
However, Monai is being given another lap time delete again at turn 4. He was already doing very, very well. First was Taj Izrin Aiman. Now, Monai also got pulled into turn 4 oblivion. And his last time was deleted, but Adam Mikael still holding the fastest lap with 1:25.422, a 2/10 of a second in front of Wan Jian He.
Yeah, well, Juan He is going to try, no doubt, to see whether it can actually improve with that. But the front will start, especially starting around the outside, as it were, into turn 1. Not exactly a prime position to be in, so if he can somehow find another 2/10 on track, that will help him get that actual pole position, getting himself in the prime position for the start of the race. For Mika Hakimi as well, I mean, he will definitely want to be up in that front row. He's not too far away, only a 10th of a second slower, or less than a 10th of a second slower than Elson Liu. Also a 10th of a second slower than Juan He, so he's certainly going to be in the running. If he can just find another 10th, that will be enough to get himself into the front row.
And also, newsflash, we have another car that went off track. Car number 7, this time again Brandon Ho. It's just not going to plan that turn 4. But however, Adam Mika is in the pit. We are on board with Monai, whom was a lap time deleted when he crossed the line at turn number 4. His fastest lap is 1:26.634. However, the difference between him and Brandon Ho currently stands at 2/10 of a second. Monai trying to push the engine, trying to push his car, going into that final turn, going into turn 8, now going into, that is 6, 7, 8, 9. Can he make it stick? Can he make it out from 8? Possibly, maybe crossing the line. Where does he stand? And he does improve by 1 spot, beating Brandon Ho by 0.02 of a second.
Yeah, but crucially, still 200 of a second off of Raja Amiral. So at best, he's still going to be stuck in the bottom half, as it were, for the top 8. But nevertheless, it's good to see that he's able to get a nice clean lap in. So now it's just a matter of seeing whether they can find even more improvements, because 8/10 off of like 1:25.4. That's certainly a lot of time they can try to find out on track here. So we'll see. Juan He as well, I forgot to mention, he actually came out of the pits after having set the faster time early on. Well, briefly holding that provisional pole, got dethroned by Adam Mikhail, but he's now back out of the track and back out for blood. Adam Mikhail, in the meantime, looks like he's just going to be chilling steady here. His team, no doubt, is going to be keeping an eye on Juan He's timings here as he comes across the line, having done his out lap here, I believe. So, yep, still waiting to see. Yep.
Hold up!
Yep, wait.
Hold up!
Oh, no.
We have a new race leader where Wan Jian He just took the spot from Adam Mikael with a gap of 1/100th of a second. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. We were talking about, well, it's only about a few hundredths of a second, few milliseconds, but this is a tenth. Where did he pull that one out?
Oh, wow, that is spicy indeed. While Adam Mikael was chilling in the pits, thinking he's done his absolute best, Juan He came in and stepped it up another notch here. Juan He is now back on provisional pole. Adam Mikael, will he respond to this? There are still 4.5 minutes to go here. Still plenty of time for Adam to get out there and try to set another lap, or will Adam just be settled with only this front row start? Yeah. Oh boy.
Possibly, maybe.
I mean, again, like...
but still got time if he wants to go out. But still, Juan he is still trying to set more laps because his Sector 1 is actually pretty fast, 36.6. That's pretty quick.
That is quick indeed. So I think...
he went in.
Yeah, he's gone back inside. I mean, his job is done pretty much. Yeah, like no sense staying out there longer, wasting your tires and wasting your fuel just to I don't know, make another point there. I mean, he's already a tenth faster than Adam Mikael. The ball is now in his court here practically. Whether or not he wants to try to fight for that pole position, he still remains in the pits for now. Bit of activity going on in his pits, no doubt, but I think they're still discussing whether or not to go out. It's still 3.5 minutes to go before the end of qualifying 2. But Elson
Liu, another lap time delete.
He's still in the second row for now, so you know it's not the end of the world. But if he was finding improvements, you know, out on track here, it's not going to turn up well here. But let's see if Brandon Ho will be able to get a better time. 1:26. That's enough to put Monai back down into 8th place as he gives way here to Touch Izrin Ayman. Touch Ayman has just set the 3rd fastest time, actually dethroned Elson Liu from the 3rd spot by literally 4/100ths of a second.
I think that one's already done, if I'm not mistaken, that track limit. Elson Liu, yeah, 32, okay.
Yeah.
But still, out of nowhere. Oh yeah, you just mentioned Taj Izrin Ayman is now in 3rd place. And we can see Raja Amirul Shaukat is currently in 6th. And who is that car in the pit lane?
That's 32 Elson Liu right now taking into the pit lane here. I mean, he was the one who got his lap time deleted, but has decided to park it in the pits for now. 2.5 minutes still remain. I don't know whether he's going to be coming out again, but if he were to do it, it will be within a few moments. But Adam Mikael seems to be pretty settled, though, has not budged at all from where he parked inside the pit lane. So I don't think he's going to be coming out to challenge Juan He for the provisional pole as of right now.
On board currently, Raja Amirul Shaukat from TD Racing, currently in 6th position. His last lap was not that great. I believe is 1:33.772 with a 1.5, 1/10 of a second gap to Mika Hakimi. Does he improve his time 1:28? Where is he? Still in 6th position.
Yep. Still out on track. They're still trying to find some improvements. 5 cars, I should say, are still out on track right now. The ones in the pits are currently Adam Mikael, as we've seen. Jian Wan He, aka Juan He, is also in the pits, along with Elson Liu. So these 3 drivers have decided to sit out the rest of this qualifying session. There's only 1 minute, or just 1 minute and a bit remaining, as Taj Izrin Ayman seems to be seeking another improvement to his lap time. Currently 0.3 of a second off of the fastest, 0.2 of a second off of Adam Mikael, and certainly for Taj Izrin Ayman, knowing his pedigree coming in from Gran Turismo, nothing but perfect is going to stand for him. So perfect he shall do out on track.
Yep, as mentioned, he's only 0.2 behind Adam Mikael. Oh, hello, Adam Mikael. We just got word he is out on track doing an outlap.
Oh boy, so he finally responds to Juan He's dethroning of him off a provisional pole. He's going to come out and he's going to try to take it back. This is going to be spicy indeed, because he's going to be using...
Yep. No, because is he responding to Taj Izrin Ayman's charge? He's trying to hold his front row lockout.
That is also a possibility, yeah. I mean, given the touch has been out there.
Yeah.
And his last lap is only a 1:28, so he's going to be shaping up for a final lap push here. So it might be just for Adam Mikhail's case, yeah, just for protection to stay in that front row. The checkered flag is out, so the session is officially ending right about now. Let's see what will be the final times we will get on the board. We still have 5 out of the 8 still out on track, at least last we saw. Rather, I think now it's going to be like Adam Mikhail's joined them into the ring as well, so he is out on track and
That's out lap already.
out lap already. I don't think he has enough time actually instead of a fast lap, so kind of lost his opportunity there. Came a little bit too late to here, but Taj Ismail Ayman could still be in the running here to beat him for a front row seat at the start of race number 1. We also have Mika Hakimi still out on track. He's lost a bit of time there, but unfortunately comes across, takes a checkered flag, does not improve on his position at all, so he stays in P5. Taj Ismail Ayman is coming through the final sector now, coming into the final turn. Just waiting for the checkered flag to come through here. We got Brandon Ho alongside Raja Emil Shaukat. Raja is going to be pulling in the distance. Brandon Ho slows down, so I don't think he will be setting any improvements quite yet. Raja Emil comes across the line. Will he improve his time? I don't think so. Stays in P6. Taj Ismail Ayman will be taking the checkered flag now. Will he be able to make his way up into the front row? I don't think so. He stays in P3. A second row start here on Taj Ismail Ayman's debut in the TGR Vios Challenge.
Absolutely stunning from Taj Ayman. I mean, showing his caliber, even though in the early stages of the shootout, and the second shootout, he seems to be again lost in that turn 4, but he made up his time and he shows why he's one of the best, finishing in that second row. Adam Mikhail went out, maybe just a show of force to protect his position, but end up he could not make it. So I believe that after this, the official result will be shown, but Adam Mikhail will be starting in the front row after clocking in a 1:25.422.
Yeah, what a shame here for Adam Mikhail. If he came out maybe a minute earlier, maybe he will be able to get in just one last lap here to respond perhaps to Juan He or even Taj Ayman's attempts to take away his front row start, but he still remains in the front row in spite of that. Still had set a very competitive time here, only a tenth of a second slower than Juan He, but enough to allow him to stay alongside him through turns 1 and 2, so that would be an exciting start to see here for the sporting class. As for everyone else, now it's just going to be time for them to get their practice starts out of the way.
And not to forget, this category, we have 20 cars.
Yeah.
And anything can happen at the front. Let's just say a little bump, a little oversteer, a little bit of snap steer, and somebody can take advantage. I mean, that's the best thing about racing. It's all about your focus on your racecraft. Your focus first to avoid you getting crashed or you getting torpedoed and trying to survive the race at the end of the day. Because as you know, sometimes after you get a qualifying on pole, that doesn't mean you finish on pole.
No, it's quite literally only 50% of the work done over the race weekend. We still have the other 50% to go here in race number 1. Here are your provisional results out of qualifying to official. For the sporting class, Juan He, aka Jian Juan He, has taken provisional pole for the sporting class with a time of 1:25.2, doing Honghuat X Armada KK Racing proud. Adam Mikhail from Gmart Motorsport takes the slot alongside him with a time of 1:25.4. Taj Ismail Ayman from Saksama Motorsports makes his debut in 2025 from Saksama Motorsport in 3rd place provisionally. Elson Liu from Bay Racing by ES Yang takes the row alongside Taj Ayman there in 4th place. Mika Hakimi from S&D Tama Motorsports makes it into 5th place. Raja Emil Shaukat will start alongside him for TD Racing. Brandon Ho from Axel Sports makes it up into P7, beating Monai from Group Team Nexter PMC 52, who rounds out our top 8 in Q2.
And I believe that we will look at the highlight for the qualifying, where again that turn 4 has become a magnet for every car that passes by, unsuspecting, going off the track limit. And we see not just for this category, but almost for every category falls into that trap.
Very tricky one, you know. I mean, again, that's why you see drivers like Kenneth Cole like literally pulling on the handbrake, trying to get the car to rotate just nicely so they can face exit and get a smooth power delivery going out. And that power delivery is what you need in order to gain a lot of time on turn 4. And unfortunately, if you just push that limit a little bit too hard, you find yourself, you know, getting the ire of race control with your lap times being deleted, which is crucial in this new shootout qualifying format that we've introduced in our 2025 season. But you know, but again, for everyone else, they've been able to avoid those track limits and still are able to set really good times here. So I don't think that's going to be too much of an excuse later on in the race. But pretty much it's the race that's going to be on everyone's mind right now. They've already posted the best times here for a best possible grid start. Now it's just a matter of getting themselves turned around and ready for our first race of the season.
Imagine if suddenly, out of nowhere, we have sprint race in this in Toyota Gazoo Racing. That will be another dimension. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. But now we have a 2 qualifying shootout, and as you can see, the front row has been determined, and what a race waiting this afternoon.
Indeed, indeed. Having a nice wide shot of the track here as the drivers are going into scrutineering. We're going to give you guys like a bit of time to get prepped and ready for our racing action. We will be opening up a new stream later on at 2 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in for that. It's going to be an exciting start to our season here in 2025. The Vios Challenge is back in action once more. We've got 4 rounds to check out here. This is only the first of many here that are from us in TGR. I can't wait to see the race that's going to be happening later on this afternoon.
Yes, indeed. So if you're watching, don't go anywhere, because this afternoon is where the fun and action begin. And I believe that our task here is done because all the qualifying session is done. So I believe we will send it back to Abang Nas.
Indeed we will. So Abang Nas, go ahead, take it away, my man.
Oh, yes, indeed. Everybody's taking a good time calling me Abang Nas while I'm on location. Huh? Well, thank you very much, Abed Decipher Kita, and also Victor Cax. Nice to see you on set. My goodness, I thought it was supposed to be somebody else, but when I see you on screen, especially our viewers as well, welcome back. A familiar face that goes with that familiar voice. But speaking of familiar faces, I am with the top 2 qualifiers for round 1 of season 2025 Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge. Adi Raimi, Laser Motor Racing, and Mr. Mitchell Chia, Prima Pearl TD Racing. This time around, TD and Prima Pearl, one driver only, Mitchell Chia. Are you prepared to go solo against everybody else?
Yes, definitely. I have to fight this myself against everyone else that has a teammate or a partner, and yeah, we'll see it through.
Wow, it's Mitchell against the world, that's for sure. But of course, let me take a look at the results from the qualifying 2 of sporting class. Congratulations to Juan He, Adam Mikhail, and Taj Aiman. P1, P2, and P3. Especially impressive is Juan He, who's made up from rookie class all the way to super sporting, and also Taj Aiman, all this time only in MFS, and also 4-time GT Cup Malaysia champion, bringing his electronic skills to the track and doing pretty well. But of course, we're speaking to very experienced people from super sporting class. Encik Adi Rahimi, congratulations on P1. It's a new qualifying format. There's Q1 and Q2 as well. The top 8 continue on to Q2 to race and to catch P1. What do you think of this new format, and what changes might we expect?
Alright, so definitely with this new format, qualifying format, is quite challenging, quite tricky, because we need to pass the top 8 first for the Q1, and then at the same time we need to manage our tyre and also fuel, because we cannot refuel or change tyre during in between Q1 and Q2. So yeah, very tricky, but again we just did our best, and then Q1 pole, and then Q2 also managed to get pole also, thanks to my team Laser Motor Racing for prepping me a really good car.
Excellent, excellent. Well, here's the thing for our viewers as well, just to keep them in the loop as well. For Q1 and Q2, top 8 goes to the second qualifying round, and strategies are different as well, as Adi said earlier. So you can't change your tires, you can't refuel between Q1 and Q2, you can only do any modifications after second qualifying. Is this true?
Yes, correct. So in between Q1 and Q2, everything has to be done before Q1 starts, and then whether you make it in the top 8 for Q2, the car has to be parked outside the pit, the crew cannot touch the car, you have to open the door yourself to get some extra air in the car, and we have to wait. So yeah, a lot of management that we need to do with the fuel and the tires, like Adi said. We also don't want to push too hard for Q1, try to save some fuel and tire for Q2, but you also have to make sure that you get in the top 8 so that you get into Q2. So Q2 is also another, this new format makes it more challenging and more exciting for this new format, because they only take the final result from Q2. Yeah. And in Q2, like you saw earlier, in the first almost 8 minutes, nobody wanted to go out because nobody wanted to give anyone slipstream. Exactly. It's like back to the karting days for me, where everyone just wait and burn a few minutes, because we all, even though people might think that we need a couple of laps to do the time, but we as drivers, we know that we can do it in 1 lap.
Just need 1 lap.
Just take 1 lap. Is that confidence that you have for yourself that it's alright, back to karting days, let them go on first. Ni semua dah veteran dah ni. Well, I won't ask too much about strategy because I know you guys are competing against each other. But what we can see, as a viewer, I found this particular qualifying a little bit of extra excitement, especially with Q2. We see some bumper-to-bumper action already, like, wow, qualifying already got bumper-to-bumper action. And when we see strategy, I'll explain what we can see. Adi, from the start, you went for P1 all the way for qualifying 2, while Mitchell, on the other hand, go kata, relax first, and then that last lap suddenly, boom, all the way to P2. With these two different strategies, will you bring this thinking on the way to race 1? And is it because the teams are different? You got 2 drivers and you've got 1 driver. Does that come into play?
Yeah, I think for me that make a difference also between 2 cars and 1 car, like Michelle. So depends. Yeah, for me also, let's see what we can do with 2 cars. Definitely, for me, I just do my best, and then my partner also, and then with the team, I trust them. Just team order lah. I just follow.
Your partner, Dr. Eddie Liu, is at 7th position, P7. He's also one of the top 8 qualifiers. Mitchell, since Laser Motor Racing has 2 drivers, are you afraid of some tag team action happening to you?
I would say no, because I've been racing against Laser for the past couple of seasons, and we always had a fight between myself and 2 drivers. Previously was Eddie and Putra, and then last season was Eddie and Amir. So it will make no difference to me, and we'll just make sure that we have a clean race, fight fairly, and then we'll see who gets on top.
I like this young man's confidence. Mitchell has always had that extra magic, especially those last extra 2-3 laps. So Adi is also quite aware of his particular magic on track. So gentlemen, I wish you all the best for race 1, round 1, super sporty class. Watch out for these 2 gentlemen, Mitchell Chia with Prima Pearl TD Racing and Adi Raimi, Laser Motor Racing. Good luck, everybody. And as you can see over here, the cars are already being scrutinized for race 1. So this is the 4th generation Toyota Vios. This is the Vios Challenge after all. And so in just a few moments, we're going to go for a quick break right here. And when we do come back, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get straight into action. Race day 1 awaits you. And of course, with our 2 casters, we are also on hand to give you a play-by-play of all the action that's happening at Sepang International Circuit. We're going to end the stream right now, and we're going to come back and restart the stream. Look out for that first race. 3 p.m. Be there or be square. My name is Naz Rahman. This is Toyota Gazoo Racing Vios Challenge Season 2025. See you 3 p.m.
bringing you sensation.
Luca, new race, let's go.
Just what on earth is Gazoo Racing?